Gentlemen, welcome to your briefing materials. I'm joined by Sam and a CIA spook codename M. Following the recent escalation of the Second Cold War and active hostilities between NATO and the CSTO, tensions have skyrocketed. The successful repelling of CSTO's invasion of Chernobyl by NATO forces has significantly heightened the geopolitical stakes, leading to a series of aggressive postures along the NATO-Russian borders. I'll go ahead and have codename M fill you in on the situation.
In the attack that gave the Baltic command a black eye, Russian mechanized force blitzed through the Kaliningrad border and took a broad swath of land in the Taunus region, among other locations. While the situation in Lithuania is dire, we currently have the upper hand. With the Swedish, English, and French naval elements all patrolling the Baltic Sea, the Russians are over-leveraging their positions. They're cut off from supply hubs and are going to soon run out of supplies, and their advance to Belarus is halted. The Russian Federation, leveraging its strategic position in Kaliningrad, has initiated a surprise invasion across the Lithuanian border. This move is aimed at securing a corridor through Lithuania to strengthen its geographic and strategic positioning against NATO forces in Europe. Grim, it is up to you and the coalition of NATO forces to halt the advance and liberate this southern province of Lithuania you've been assigned to. Your platoon leaders will devise the game plan and fill the rest of you in on the details now.
Alright guys, I'm taking back over from here. The coalition of NATO forces, the brass and mustard so far, is a combination of specialized units composed of elite operators from various NATO countries like ourselves and conscripts they've been able to hand a rifle to. We've been deployed to lead the rear defense operations here against the Russian advance. As Spook said, the Russians understand that they're cornered in Kaliningrad at the moment, so they've already begun to make a do-or-die push east. We'll be facing off against elite Russian paratroopers, the VDV. We'll also likely be engaged by remnants of Wagner PMC forces and other irregular conscripts the Russians can spring into the fight from Kaliningrad. Expect both hard and soft opposition from mechanized and bodies. Our objectives include reconnaissance and intelligence gathering. We'll be conducting covert operations to gather intelligence on Russian troop movements, supply lines, and forward operating bases near the border. The Russian FOBs they've set up are currently secondary targets we can hit to leave their forces in disarray for a period of time. We'll also be engaging in direct action. In targeted strikes against high-value targets identified during reconnaissance, these will include command centers, anti-aircraft sites, and armored columns. Some of the AA sites might be S-300s or S-400s. We'll be working alongside other NATO forces in periods of times. So we'll be moving west and hitting the English, and we'll be moving south and hitting the Germans. We'll be working with them to fortify defensive positions and support civilian evacuation efforts from the conflict zones. Rescue and extract any leftover NATO operatives, diplomats, units, or civilians caught behind enemy lines. We'll also be utilizing manpads to deny the Russians the air bridge doctrine they've so desperately loved from resupplying their troops in the area. We need to facilitate the construction of Patriot sites to assist in the defense of these airspaces. With all that being said, I'm going to pass it off over to Sam.
Air support will be limited due to the risk of dense Russian anti-aircraft coverage. To add on to that, the Lithuanian National Guard lost both of their airports in the southwest and the airport in the northeast. These airports allowed us to maintain effective air coverage, so taking at least one of them back will be the focus of tonight's operation. ROE is pretty damn clear. Ice everyone who looks Russian. Otherwise, don't fire unless fired upon in case the opposition might be a friendly guerrilla element. Minimize collateral damage and avoid civilian casualties at all costs. The political ramifications of this operation are significant, so precision is paramount. The mission will be considered successful when Russian advancements are halted or significantly delayed, allowing for the mobilization of additional NATO forces to the region. Our operation is critical to the defense of Lithuania and the containment of Russian aggression in Europe. Stay sharp, stay silent, and good luck. Grim, you are the shield in the dark. Operation Baltic Shield commences at 0200 hours.